So we're now going to look at a toasted cheese and tomato, and we're just going to warm up some of this meat that we made yesterday. And yeah, so we're going to do the toasted cheese and tomato, and what I'm going to do is just toast the bread a little bit first, and then what we'll do is we'll head over to adding the cheese and the tomato. So I'm going to do a preheat here on the cooker. We'll do it at 180 degrees, and we'll just let that preheat for 5. And there we go. Right, so while that's preheating, we're going to get everything ready. Right, so the toast will just be the bread, and that's pretty much done. Just put that to the side. So we're going to let the toast go first, and then what we're going to do is then add the cheese and the tomato once the bread is slightly toasted. So to get started then, we're going to slice up some cheese, and we're going to slice up some tomato. So let's get some cheese going. So we're just cutting a couple of slices, hopefully that'll be enough. Make it really cheesy. Right, so that's the cheese out the way. And then what we're going to do is just slice up some tomato. And I'll just get the cutting board for that. Right, and we're just going to slice up some tomato. Right, that should be enough, and then we'll just keep the rest of that to eat as maybe like a side snack. So, that's good. Okay, so move that to the back, and then we're just waiting for the preheat to finish. Then we'll do the toast for a couple of minutes, and then we'll add the cheese and tomato. See you in a bit. So the preheat done, so that means we can go ahead with the toast. So I'm going to pop in the toast holder, and we're just going to pop in the toast, and we're just going to let that get nice and crispy before we put the tomato and the cheese on. So we slide that in, and what I'm going to do now is just push up the temperature to 200, and we're going to drop the time down to 3 minutes, and we're going to let that go, and when we come back we'll be ready to add the tomato to the toast. So the toast should be ready now, so let's have a look. Right, so we have some good looking toast here, so we're going to take that out, and we're going to move the toaster out. And then what we're going to do is just add that, not that one. We're going to add this platform. Right, so we're going to put that back in there, and then I thought I would just add a little bit of butter. So to add the butter, we're just going to use the back of a spoon. That way when we apply the toast, it doesn't break the bread, because we're using a curved surface on the toast. So we'll just do something like that, and you'll see while the toast is crispy, it's not hard. So it's going to toast a little bit more now when we put it back in. So just applying the butter, butter is a little bit hard, so that's why I use the back of the spoon. But there we go. Right, so unfortunately the toast is cooling off pretty quickly now, so it is getting harder and harder to apply the butter, but that's all going to melt again once we put it into the air fryer. So we're just applying the butter there. Yep, there we go. Right, so we've applied the butter. Now what I'm going to do is add some tomato, and then what I'm going to do is put some cheese on top. So add some cheese, and then with the cheese on, what I'm going to do is just sprinkle a little bit of spice, this garlic and herb onto the cheese. Right, then just turn it over. Alright, so we get the herbs on the inside. Right, so now we're ready to just toast that first, and then once that's melted a bit, we're going to add the other piece of toast on top, and we'll warm up this the meat from yesterday. So in we go with the two pieces. We just lay them flat next to each other, and we're going to put that in, and then we're not going to put it in as long as before, so we'll go up to the 200, but we're only going to do that for a minute. Right, so we're going to let that go, and then we'll be back to put the other food in and to heat it all up together to finish it all at the same time. So the initial minute is up, and you'll see that the cheese is melted. Now what I'm going to do is, because it's melted, we'll just put the other piece of toast on top. So that's going to sort of merge nicely with the cheese, the melted cheese. Then I'm going to just drop in the sausage from yesterday, the Wors, pop that in, and then what we're going to do is do that for now we're not trying to cook anything, we just want to warm it up a bit, so we leave it at 180 degrees, and then we're just going to drop that down to 2 minutes, and that should be done. Right, see you in a bit. Right, so the cooking is up. Let's have a look and see what we got. So I'm just going to take the sausage is warmed up. Let's put that to the side, and then we have our toasted sandwiches, and you'll actually see that the toast is golden brown on top. It's very hot. I keep touching the sides. Probably not a good thing to just go putting your hand in, but that's what I like to do. So right, and the other piece, and put that in, and then I'm just going to cut one. Wow, that looks really good. You can see everything is gelled really nicely. One of the best toasted cheese and tomato sandwiches I've had. Sorry about all the bites. Let's see how the meat's done. Yeah, that's cooked. Warmed up nicely, but not too hot. But I think I'm going to get stuck in here. Absolutely delicious. Well, that's one sandwich down and one part of that sausage down. The rest I will have a bit later today. but really excellent toasted cheese and tomato made in the air fryer. If you haven't tried it, give it a try. It's well worth it. Fantastic, delicious. Thanks for watching.